girls, it's Mrs. Roman. I promised you a video on how to compare fractions, so I hope that you go over it. There are so many ways you can compare fractions. There's so many little tricks, but we're gonna go with one that I think is gonna be the most accurate and that you can most definitely do on your own. So here we go. Our goal is to compare fractions. Which one's greater, which one's less? We're going to use the greater than, less than, or equal to sign to be able to indicate that. The first thing is I have to look at this fraction and I have to divide it to make it into a decimal. So remember, your numerator becomes your dividend divided by your denominator, which becomes your divisor. Can 4 go into 3? No, it cannot. Put a 0. 0 times 4 is 0. Subtract, I get 3. Okay, well, I have a remainder. There's nothing to bring down. This is when you have to add a decimal and add a 0. Put the decimal, add a 0, bring it down. 30 divided by 4. How many times can 4 be multiplied to give me something close to 30? It's 7. I put a 7. 7 times 4 is 28. I subtract, I get 2. Now, 7 times 4 is 28. I subtract, I get 2. I can add another 0 because I still have a remainder. So I put a 0, bring it down. Now I have 20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract, I get 0. Now I have no remainder, and I have my decimal, which is 0.75. So I know that 3/4 is the same thing as 0.75 or 75 hundredths is the correct way to saying it. Think of money. If I have 4 quarters to make my whole dollar, 4 quarters to make my whole dollar, and someone takes away 3 of my quarters, they took away 75 cents. That's the same thing as 75 hundredths. All right, let's move on. 3/8. 3 divided by 8. 8 times what gets me to 3? Nothing. Put a 0. 0 times 8 is 0. Subtract, I get 3. All right, now I have to put a decimal and a 0. Bring it down. My dividend becomes 30. 30 divided by 8, think 8 times what gets me close to 30? 8 times, think 4. That's 32. No. 8 times 3, yes. Put a 3 after the decimal. 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract, I get 6. You have to borrow, or you can think in your head from 24 to 30 is 6, so the difference is 6. I put a 0, bring it down. 60. 60 divided by 8. Well, I know 8 times 8 is 64, so it must be 8 times 7. 8 times 7 is 56. 7 times 8 is 56. Subtract, I get 4. You, of course, can borrow, or you can just go ahead, count from 56 to 60, and then you'll find out the difference is 4. 57, 58, 59, 60. That's 4. Add another 0 because I still have a remainder. 40 divided by 8 is 5. Put the 5 above that last 0. 5 times 8 is 40. Now I have 0 remainder. I'm done. Now I can go ahead and compare. It's always good that when you compare, that you can compare up to the same place value. If this is 2 numbers after the decimal, that means I'm up to the hundredths place. Here, I'm up to the thousandths place. Let's make them go up to the same place value. Add a 0 to this one. So now I have 750 thousandths. No. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. I'm right. And 375 thousandths. Now I can compare them. Which one's greater, 750 thousandths or 375 thousandths? This one is greater. All right, so I hope that helped you understand. For those of you that need a visual, quickly. We can also compare using a tape diagram, which is basically a rectangle. I'm going to draw 2 candy bars or tape diagrams. Don't have them stuck to each other. Focus on the first fraction. It's cut into fourths. So I'm going to cut this one down the middle and then cut those in half. Now I have fourths. Shade in 3 out of the 4. 1, 2, 3. That is equal to 3/4. Now this is 3/8. I'm going to cut it into fourths first and then cut my fourths into eighths so that it's comparable. You see that right now they're the same size. And now I'm going to cut those fourths into eighths. And I'm going to shade in 3 out of the 8. 1, 2, 3. Which one is greater? The 3/4, because those pieces were much larger. So this is 3/4. Those fourths, each piece is much larger because I only cut the candy bar into 4 pieces. These eighths are really a lot smaller because I cut it the whole candy bar into, had to cut it into 8 pieces, and I only gave away 3 out of the 8, 3 little pieces out of 8. This is 3 big pieces out of 4. So 3/4 is greater, and you can see that with the drawing. All right, boys and girls, I hope that helped. Good luck. Keep studying.